What's up, guys? These are my predictions for UFC Fight Night Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree. This is taking place in Azerbaijan, which until today I didn't know existed. So yeah, let's just get into it. First fight, we got Mohammed Usman versus Hamdy Abdelwahab. Interesting fight for a heavyweight fight. Hamdy is in his last fight against Jamal Pogues, I thought you could argue that he lost that fight. I thought Pogues kind of outboxed him the whole time. But, he was aggressive and he was throwing like big punches and stuff like that. So I guess that swayed the judges. He's fighting Mohammed Usman, who's on a two-fight losing streak. Now, Usman is big. He's a big guy. He's got like that weird thing where he kind of waddles around. His legs are like very straight. He's like very stiff, but he's super powerful and he's got big power. This is interesting. So Hamdy's going to try to, I'm guessing, blitz in with big combinations, and Usman's going to try to stand on the back foot and land power punches. I think I'm going to pick, I was not very impressed with Hamdy in the last fight, but I've never been impressed with Usman. I'm going to go Hamdy Abdelwahab. If he decides to wrestle, he could actually have some success, but he's going to be a little smaller than Usman. So yeah, Usman, he does have good power, but he just has a tough time putting it all together. He's kind of lumbering, and I think Abdulwahab will have a speed advantage, but I could see Hamdy running into a shot, but I'm going to pick him. I'm going to pick him to win this fight. I'm going to pick him to win by decision, but yeah, that's kind of a weird fight. But yeah, I'm going Hamdy Abdelwahab by decision. Moving on, we got Tagir Ulambekov versus Azat Maksum. Azat had that fight with Charles Johnson where pretty early in the fight, he blasted Charles Johnson with a right hand and knocked him down. Almost cinched up a Darce choke. And I think he burnt out his arms and his gas tank. That was his first fight in the UFC. And then, Johnson was able to take over as that fight kept going. And Tagir Ulambekov, he's been in the UFC for a while. Super dangerous, very tall for the division. Good striking, good submissions, good grappling. He'll kind of lean on you. He'll use his frame to kind of bully you around. But this is a tough fight. He's never been knocked out. And, being that tall for the division, he poses a lot of challenges. I want to pick the underdog here. I think Azat Maksum, I think the big difference is going to be that Ulambekov's not going to submit him. And I think Tagir's gas tank will wear out before Azat's. Even though Azat, he did kind of tire out in the Johnson fight, I don't think Tagir's got that kind of pace. Johnson's got a really crazy pace. He's an Olympian for something really random. I forget, it was like javelin throwing or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna go Azat Maksum. I'm gonna go by a close decision. I think he has the bigger moments. But Azerbaijan, I don't know if there's any biases going on over there. I don't even really know where that's at. But I'm gonna trust him to win. So I'm gonna go Azat Maksum by decision. Moving up, I'm gonna breeze through this one. Irina Alekseeva something versus Klaudia Sygula. I have no clue. I'm just going to pick the favorite, Irina Alekseeva. I don't know how to say her name. I'm just going to pick her. I predict a boring fight. So, yeah, I'll go Irina by decision. Moving up, Darya Zheleznyakova versus Melissa Mullins. I'm going to pick Melissa Mullins. They've already fought before. Actually... It's tough because the first fight, Darya was beating the hell out of Melissa Mullins on the feet. And Mullins got a takedown, got mount, and just beat the hell out of her. That was a couple years ago. She's 33 now, and Zheleznyakova, or Darya, is 27. So maybe she made some improvements. She was lighting her up on the feet, but man, she got smashed on the ground. And getting arm triangle by Aline Perez isn't a great look, even though Aline Perez isn't bad. I'm gonna go the favorite. I'm gonna go Melissa Mullins. I think even if Darya lights her up on the feet and starts beating her ass, I think she still can get her to the ground and dominate on the ground. So I'm going to go Melissa Mullins. I'm going to go by second or third round TKO. Moving up, Ismail Naurdiev versus Ju Young Park. Naurdiev coming off that win over Bruno Silva versus the Iron Turtle, Ju Young Park, coming off of that win over Brad Tavares. And yeah, man, I'm a big Iron Turtle guy, man. He's tough. He puts a pace on people. His boxing's gotten a lot better. He'll stand there, slug it out with you. He can take a shot. He'll put a pace. He'll grapple you, hold you against the fence. He had that stinker against Andre Muniz where he just couldn't get enough damage to get the decision. And Ismail Naurdiev, he's a former welterweight, so he's going to have a speed advantage. And he's a dangerous, dynamic guy. But all that being considered, I think Ju Young Park is tough enough, and he comes in with a good enough game plan. It's a pretty simple game plan. It's put pressure, put hands on you, get you to the ground, smash you. So I think Naurdiev is talented. He's a very good athlete, so if anyone's going to make something like dynamic happen, it's him. But this isn't Bruno Silva, who's just kind of standing at range, not really trying to engage. Ju Young Park is going to be in his face, and he's gonna put that pressure on him. So I'm gonna go Ju Young Park by decision, and let's go Iron Turtle. Moving up, Seokhyeon Ko versus Obam Elliot. This is a good fight. So Ko, he fought in the Contender Series. He fought a guy with a big old afro. And basically, on the feet it was pretty even, but once he got him to the ground, he had some really good top control. He's a very well-rounded fighter, pretty big for the division, very athletic. And so is Obam Elliot. This is an interesting fight because I feel like these guys are very well matched. Like, this is a really good matchup. Obam Elliot, good boxing on the feet, good power. He'll wrestle if he has to. He's pretty good at it. He's the Welsh gangster, which is a fucking great nickname. And his flag has a dragon. I think I've said this before. USA, we got stars and stripes. Wales has a dragon. Come on, man. What are we doing here? We need to put a dragon on the USA flag. But anyways, besides all that, I'm going to pick Obam Elliot because I think he's got that little bit extra power on the feet, and I think it can make a difference. I will say what I don't love about Obam Elliott's habits is he'll dive way out of the way for punches. He'll duck super low, and he is primed for eating a head kick. But luckily, he's got really good reactions, and he's a tough guy. He fought that really jacked dude who hurt him at one point, I think with a head kick, and he was able to make it through. So I'm gonna pick him by very close decision. I think this is a really good matchup, as in like they're on a similar level, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm gonna go Obam Elliot. I'm gonna go by close decision. Moving up, Mohammed Naimov versus Bogdan Grad. So Bogdan Grad, he has a very simple game plan. He's gonna put the pace on you, try to break you. He keeps coming forward. Not the cleanest on the feet. He is liable to get hit. Tom Nolan knocked him out on the Contender Series. But, he came back. He built himself back. And then his last fight, he just dominated. Well, he didn't dominate the whole fight, but when he got top control, he dominated. What was his name? Lucas Alexander, I believe his name was. And then Mohammed Naimov is a grappler. Some tricky stuff on the feet. I think he likes his spinning attacks. He'll hold you against the cage. He's a good wrestler. He's strong. And so the question is Naimov going to be able to neutralize Bogdan Grad's pressure? Is he going to be able to hurt him and keep him off him? Or is he going to be able to take him down? So that's interesting. I think I'm going to... Mohammed Naimov really cheated against Nathaniel Wood, and they did nothing about it. And this was in where was, I don't know where they fought. I want to say it was in fucking, not Dubai. Is it Dubai? No, Abu Dhabi. But yeah, he did cheat a lot, and I don't know if he's going to get away with it in Azerbaijan. So I'm going to pick Mohammed Naimov. I think Bogdan Grad just leaves too many openings when he's trying to pressure. But this could be just like that Chaos Williams versus Andreas Gustafsson fight where Bogdan's just grit and his willingness to eat a shot and to drive in can really break Naimov down and cause him to have some mental fatigue. But I don't think Naimov is the type of guy that's going to get broken by that. So I'm going to pick Mohammed Naimov. I'm going to pick by a submission. I think Bogdan Grad can put himself into a bad spot and possibly get his back taken and finished. So I'm going to go Mohammed Naimov by submission. Moving up, Nazim Sadykhov versus Nikolas Motta. Nikolas Motta or Motta, he's more of a kickboxer. He loves his left hook right straight. He loves his left hook way too much. That's basically all he's looking for. And he's got really good power, so you can see why. On the feet, he'll fight on the back foot. He'll land some good shots. He's got some decent kicks. He keeps his arms nice and tight, which I like. And Nazim Sadykhov is just a berserker. He goes at you hands down, swinging with all he's got, shooting takedowns. His fight versus Vasyslav Borshev is one of my all-time favorite fights because he's getting lit up. Then all of a sudden, this fool just fucking cracks Borshev with the left hand and then fucking head kicks him and almost finishes him. So he's a dog, man. He's always in there. I think he's going to be too much for Motta. I think Motta is, if he were to mix it up a little bit more, I think he could be a way more dangerous fighter because he has the power and he has good timing. He knocked out Tom Nolan, so he's dangerous. But I think he gets a little one note in his attack. And I think Sadykhov, surprisingly, is the more adaptable fighter, and he'll find something that will land. So I can see Motta landing, and then boom, getting caught and going down. So I'm going to go Nazim Sadykhov, and I'm going to go by TKO. Moving up, Myktybek Orolbai versus Tafik Musayev. I swear this card is like trying to get me to fucking say the names wrong. It's like the most... why can't we get like a John Smith? But anyways, Myktybek Orolbai versus Tafik Musayev. Tafik making his UFC debut, long-time Bellator guy, PFL. All those other promotions. Dangerous dude on the feet, very athletic, good movement on the outside. He loves his right hand. He'll kind of lunge in with his right hands. He's a little low output for my liking. He doesn't really have too much of a jab. He doesn't use too many combinations. And he's got some good grappling. And he's fighting Myktybek Orolbai, who I always thought was more of a grappler, but then in his last fight versus Mateusz Rebecki, he just decided like, I'm trying to get a bonus, and he just fucking stood toe to toe with Rebecki. Maybe he just knew he wasn't going to be able to take him down, but yeah, he looked pretty good on the feet, man. His jab looked good. His 1-2 looked good. He's tough. He had a swollen eye and still kept fighting. And that was a close fight, man. And Tafik Musayev is a good fighter, and he's very experienced. So this could be this isn't like the patchy mix Mario Batista fight, whereas Mario Batista is already top level. Orolbai, he is good, but he still hasn't had that next level performance. So I'm gonna pick Orolbai. I think his jab and his straight punches and his pressure is going to be too much for Musayev. And I think he's going to be able to implement some wrestling, some clinching, and use his 1-2s to catch the big wide swings of Tafik. But Tafik's a hell of an athlete. So he could make something happen. He's very dangerous. And he's got some really good power on the feet. So I'm going to trust Orolbai, and I'm going to pick him by decision. I think this is a very close fight. Moving up, Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kunayev. Kunayev is a steroid cheat. He has been caught. Maybe they're all on steroids, but he got caught in PFL of all places. So not the smartest guy. He likes to swing wild on the feet, crash into the clinch, and use that to try to rough his opponents up. Not the most technical guy, but he's a big boy. He's very athletic. His legs are fucking enormous, so I know he probably generates power. And if Curtis Blaydes isn't careful, he can get caught slipping. And, we all kind of know about Curtis Blaydes. He's got some decent boxing on the feet, but he just doesn't take shots very well. He can be finished. He's been finished in almost all of his losses. I think all of his losses in the UFC, they're all by knockout. But I don't think Kunaev is going to be able to land a knockout shot. And I don't think he'll be able to fall back on the clinch. I think Blaydes, his cardio and his how do I put this? His ability to kind of weather storms, especially, Jailton Almeida was all he was trying to do was grapple him. And he basically controlled him for 5 minutes and then was going to control him again until he slipped, and then Blaydes capitalized on it and elbowed him in the head until he went out. But I think Blaydes is always liable to get hurt, man. He just gets hit very clean. But I can't pick Kunaev. I mean, it's heavyweight, so anything can happen. But I'm going to go Curtis Blaydes. I think he's going to knock out Kunaev. So I'm going to go Curtis Blaydes by second round TKO. Moving up, co-main event, Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio Bahamondes. It's a very good fight. Weird fight. They're trying to get Ignacio Bahamondes to either get up the rankings or trying to get Fiziev back into the win column. And I don't think this is an easy fight for either guy, but I think if Bahamondes wins, it's going to look easy. So Bahamondes is very tall for the division, very tall, very game, very aggressive dude, very tough guy. Most of his weaknesses have been shown in the grappling, on the feet. He's been hurt before. He got hurt by Ludovic Klein, who's very similar to Rafael Fiziev. And I think his biggest habit that he should work on is he's almost exclusively one strike at a time. One jab, one right hand, one kick. Go watch his fights. Occasionally he'll do like two together. But he's a one strike at a time guy. And Rafael Fiziev is he's just nasty. He's on a hair trigger. He's ready to snap at you. He's got really good movement. He's got really good foot speed. He can get inside quick and land cross counters over the top. He'll work the body. His switch kick to the body obviously is legendary. But he's short. He's 5'8", and he's already contemplating going down to featherweight. And now he's fighting one of the biggest lightweights in the division. So he's not giving himself any easy fights. This is a good fight, man. So it's either like Bahamondes is going to be able to pick Fiziev apart from the outside, use kicks, use his jab, not have to use any combinations, not even trade with him. Or Fiziev is going to be able to dart in, catch him over the top, stay safe. He's got a great chin. Both of these guys have really good chins. So I don't see either one going out. I think I'm going to pick Rafael Fiziev. And that's a long shot, but I just don't think he's the kind of guy you can just pick apart with one shot from the outside. Now, if Ignacio Bahamondes comes in this and he's using his jab to set up stuff and he's throwing combinations and using knees up the middle, front kicks up the middle, then he's going to be very successful in this fight. But I have a feeling Fiziev, he's just a little too quick, and he's got enough power to at least get Ignacio thinking about things. So I'm going to go Rafael Fiziev, and I'm going to go by a close decision. Moving up, main event, Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree. So Khalil Rountree, southpaw, big power puncher. We all saw that fight against Alex Bahia, and he did better than a lot of people thought. I actually thought he was going to do pretty good in that fight, just because he likes to strike, and he's a dangerous dude, and he's very quick, he's very explosive, and but yeah, if you really watch that fight, he was very headhunting-ish. He throws I hate to say it like this, but he kind of throws the same exact combination over and over, which is either right hook, left straight, or left overhand, or left straight, right hook. He used to have a habit of burning himself out by throwing so much in the first round, so hard. Everything was hard. Right hooks, his fucking arms are huge, so he just throws these big hooks, uppercuts, and at his best is when he was using his leg kicks against that Eric Anders fight. His teep was there, his lead leg kick was there, his outside low kick was there. But he hasn't really done that in a bit now. He's been focused on just landing power punches. And and I think his cardio's gotten better, but I think he just needs a little more variety. If he just went to the body a little bit more, I think he would start finishing guys. I think if he went to the body more, I'd pick him here. But he's going against Jamahal Hill, who is a southpaw, but will also fight from righty, so I don't know exactly what stance he is. And he's good, man. He's got good pressure. He's a big, tall guy. Bad footwork. He'll kind of cross his feet, and he'll kind of do some funky movements. He's very unorthodox, but he's got really good power in both hands. He's very long for the division. He will pop a jab at you. He will fight a slow-paced fight. He doesn't really put himself into too bad of positions. Well, he does, but he's got really good reactions. He can wrestle, but he's not going to go to it, I don't feel like. I don't like how he's saying things like Khalil's not on my level. I don't know if I agree with that. I think Khalil's proved that he's at a high level, but Rountree's win streak isn't that impressive when you look at it. It's mostly impressive because of how well he performed in the Alex Bahia fight. And Jamahal Hill obviously got knocked out in the Alex Bahia fight, and then kind of got touched up by Yuri until he got finished in the third. So it's not a great look. And then especially, in the light heavyweight division, you're fighting just dudes. You're fighting great athletes with big power on the regular. But I think he will dirty box in the clinch. He's got some really good knees. He's got some really good elbows. He'll wear on you. And for the most part, he can take a really good punch. And he's a 5-round fighter. He's dangerous all the way until the 5th round. Even when he's exhausted, he'll still keep on the pressure. And his combinations aren't the prettiest, but they are effective. So this is basically going to be Khalil darting in, looking for that left hand right hook. And Jamahal Hill does have a habit of leaning back, but Khalil isn't much of a slip the punch, come with a counter like Yuri was. So I don't see that happening. I think I'm going to have to pick Jamahal Hill. I think I'm going to have to pick Hill. I don't think he's the better striker, but I think Khalil's gas tank could become an issue, and he gets so fixated on the head, on knocking you out, that I think that's not the way to beat Hill. I think the way you have to be a little tricky to beat Hill. You can't just blunt force him, because that's what he is. He's like a hammer, you don't out hammer the hammer. So this is going to be a good fight, but I'm going to go Jamahal Hill. I'm going to go by 4th round TKO. I think Khalil is going to land damage on him, and if Jamahal Hill's chin is still there, I think he's going to be able to take it. I think he's going to be able to pressure Rountree and hopefully put a pace on him. And Rountree, I think, will start to fatigue later in the fight. He swings so hard. I'm going Jamahal Hill by TKO, 4th round. So that's it, guys. I appreciate you watching. If I don't post for a while, it's probably because I'm out fighting wildfires. So I appreciate you guys watching, and please like and subscribe. It keeps me motivated to keep making these videos. Anyways, guys, take care.